Want to take a moment to tell you about an upcoming event here in Springfield to honor those who served this country in Vietnam. It is the Illinois Vietnam Veterans Annual Vigil coming up May 5th, 6th, and 7th. And joining me in studio to talk about that is Jim Mathis. He's the chairman of the event, and also Karen Hirstein. She is a Gold Star sister. Jim, Karen, thank you so much for taking time with us this morning on WMAY. How you doing?
Great.
Good to hear. So, Jim, let's go ahead and start with you here. Tell me about the annual vigil and when's it happening, and what are you guys looking for the public to step up and do?
Well, basically, this is our 35th year doing it, and we have a 24-hour vigil where we walk around the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in honor of the casualties of the Vietnam War from Illinois, which is 1,997.
Wow. Yeah, I don't think people realize just how significant that number is. I mean, these are men who were in some cases, drafted. Surely not every one of them was drafted, but they ultimately had to go into the service. Karen, your brother died while in service.
Yes.
Talk about that.
My brother was killed in Korea, July the 31st, 1950. He was 20 years old.
Wow.
I never knew my brother. Unfortunately, he was sent overseas before I was born, and they didn't bury my brother until 1953. I mean, that's what happened in Korea. There's a lot of Vietnam veterans that are still missing or prisoners of war. And I noticed in the paper, they just recovered one of those and got him back home. He had been a POW, and they released his remains to the United States. And that's, the Gold Star families, this means a lot to them, all of them, no matter what war they were killed in or why they died. There's some that have died afterwards from Agent Orange,
Sure.
Service related. And the people that put on this vigil are wanting to do what they call an honor of circle, or a circle of honor, excuse me. And it is to encompass all the memorials at Oak Ridge Cemetery hand in hand. It's going to take a little over 500 people to do this. And I think it's never been done, and we're trying to get the Guinness Book of World Records out there as well to see if they can put this out.
If people haven't been out to Oak Ridge Cemetery to see these war memorials, they're extravagant, they're beautiful, they're touching, they're moving. It's hard not to stand there and see the significance of these memorials in honor of those who lost their lives in service of this country overseas, be it World War I, World War II, Vietnam. Karen, as you said, your brother died in Korea. But Jim, talk about what you're hoping to do with that that circle, and how people can get involved with this, even if they don't have connections like you guys have.
Sure. Well, basically, it's going to take a lot of people. On weekends, sometimes people get busy with family events, but we hope this year they'll come out and participate. This circle, years ago, we used to go over to the hotel. It used to be a Sky Harbor across the way, and we used to do that. We had a big circle over there of all the participants, and the guy would sing a patriotic cadence song. Well, we want to do that. We want to do it around all of the memorials, which would be 500 and some.
Wow. And I imagine that itself is there's going to be a certain kind of atmosphere, right? If you have these people all joining together and holding hands in a common cause to wrap around all of those memorials out there, that's quite a symbol. There's no question about it.
It's important to note that I've been accused of by prior bosses of being a warmonger or something, and that's not what this is about. We don't honor war. War is bad. We honor those that served the country, whether you believed in the war or not. We've had many members that were war protesters that believed in honoring those that gave their life for their country.
Jim Mathis with us, also Karen Hirstein. Both are helping get the word out about the Illinois Vietnam Veterans Annual Vigil. And Jim, it sounds like this isn't just about Vietnam veterans. This is about really all veterans.
Correct.
Now, touch on just briefly, you're going to have a special speaker, and I hope to talk with you in the future about this because it's a remarkable story. But just talk about the featured speaker you have and what that may be symbolizing.
Well, I'll highlight it, seeing as how we don't have time to go over his entire bio. But he was 9 years old when Vietnam was ending, and his dad was a Marine, a Vietnamese Marine that worked closely with the Americans. And so he got to come to USA through their connections at the time, and he was 9 years old, and he worked his way up all the way to Major General. It's a fascinating story.
No question about it. And again, I hope to talk with you in the future about this, but get it on your calendar now, May 5th, 6th, and 7th. Looks like it's an all-weekend type of event. When is the day you're hoping to have those 500-plus people there to wrap around those memorials?
Saturday, the 6th.
So the 6th. The 6th is the main event, but they got events all throughout the 5th, 6th, and 7th of May. Get it on your calendar. Jim Mathis, Karen Hirstein, thank you both so much. Let's talk again soon, all right? Definitely like a month out, and then maybe even the week before.
One other note that I'd like to mention is that there will be a replica of the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier at this event, along with a former tomb guard will be there.
It's going to be incredible. We'll greatly appreciate you guys taking the time with us today, and we'll talk again soon, okay?
All righty.
Thank you very much.
It is Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk.